Okay, let's have a look at the example of the questions. Alright, tengok soalan ini. The first thing that you should notice is that, okay, dia nak beli sofa, bed, wardrobe. Okay, alright. Ada 3 benda. Okay, and then she was advised to sign a hire purchase agreement so that she can pay by installment. Maksudnya belum buat lagi agreement tu, baru nak buat agreement. Okay, tapi tak prepare, the agreement yang prepared tu did not state the duration of hire purchase, tak sebut duration. Okay, and the amount of each installment. Ni benda-benda yang owner tak comply lah ni. Alright, the manager assured her that the details will be filled in later. Boleh ke? Alright, Zara also had to pay a minimum deposit. Minimum deposit of 30%. Alright, sebelum hire purchase agreement is signed. Boleh ke? Okay, before the hire purchase agreement. Okay, and now she is not sure and she wants to know whether or not the hire purchase agreement is binding. Okay, whether the agreement is, FFB claims that the agreement is binding and she has to pay. Alright, so you are supposed to advise on the validity of the hire purchase agreement. So these things that I highlighted are those things that should give you a clue on what this question is all about. Basically, this question is about formation. Okay, alright. So when you are answering question on formation, alright, so read the question and check the following. Did the owner follow all the requirements for the formation of the hire purchase agreement under the Hire Purchase Act? You see, dalam soalan tu tak sebut pun tentang formation. Perkataan formation atau creation tak ada sebut pun. Procedures pun tak ada sebut. Dia tanya validity of the agreement. Bila dia sebut validity, you kena tahulah agreement jadi valid atau tak valid pasal apa. Kalau tak ikut procedures lah, kalau tak ikut requirements lah. Okay, so owner follow tak all the requirements? Sebab tanggungjawab owner. Kan saya kata tadi, the responsibility is on the owner to comply with the formation of the hire purchase agreement. Look at the clues. Tadi saya dah highlight apa clues-clues dia. Alright, dia tak buat ni, dia tak buat tu, agreement tak complete, dia suruh sign agreement tak complete, dia nak fill in the details later, suruh bayar deposit 30%, wah, deposit patutnya 10%. Alright, so these are the clues in the question to see whether the requirement have been followed or not. And what is the effect of non-compliances? So what is the effect? Does it cause the agreement to be void? Alright, and ada penalty, okay, and so on. Okay, so how do you structure your answer? Okay, so this is what your content should be. First of all, of course, you always start with issue. Yeah, so what is the issue in this question? All right, so state the issue clearly to focus on a particular scope dengan jelas. What is important before you can sue someone, before you can determine agreement to valid ke tidak? What is what causes the agreement to be valid or not? Formation, formation of the requirements for the formation of the hire purchase agreement. So in your issue, right, yang penting keyword tu mesti ada. What is the keyword? Requirements for the formation of hire purchase agreement. Kalau soalan tentang formation lah. Alright, so this is one way that you can do it. The issue in this question is whether the owner fulfill the requirements for the formation of hire purchase agreement. Itu salah satu contoh. Ada banyak cara nak buat ayat, tak ada masalah. Yang penting keyword tu kena ada. Mesti ada keyword formation, requirement for the formation of hire purchase agreement. So when you are explaining the law, always start with the definition of hire purchase agreement. Section 2 Clause 1 of the Hire Purchase Act 1967 defines hire purchase agreement as an agreement for the letting of goods with an option to purchase or the purchase of goods by installment. Alright? So yang penting you gonna define apa itu hire purchase agreement. Explain the nature of hire purchase agreement. Hirer doesn't get ownership, hirer only gets possession, ownership remains with the owner. To form a hire purchase agreement, there are 9 requirements to be fulfilled. So you explain what are the requirements, apa jadi kalau dia tak comply. And in your application, use the sections that you have already explained. But tadi when you explain the law, you would have explained section for clause 1, A and B. You would have explained all the requirements for the formation of hire purchase agreement. Alright. So use the sections and kalau ada cases, the relevant cases to show which part that the owner did not comply. Which requirement that the owner fail to comply. Dalam soalan mungkin tak semualah requirement tu dia tak comply, mungkin ada 3. 2-3 ke. Alright, so you show what are the requirements that the owner did not comply and conclude whether apa effect dia. Agreement tu valid ke tak valid. So boleh tak dia batalkan agreement tu? Boleh tak dia saman the owner? Boleh tak dia tuntut balik a refund of her money from the owner and so on. Okay, so conclude on what is the effect of the non-compliance and whether the agreement is valid or not, and what are the actions that can be taken kalau ada lah. Okay, so that is on formation.